It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Washington Commanders. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Let's roll.
Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's Austin Seibert now to get this one started. And off we go from Northwest Stadium in Landover. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
That one complete. It's Tank Dell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Stroud to throw it. That'll be pulled in downfield by Collins. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. To Mixon on the check down. A strong running. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Again, it's Stroud. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Collins. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. To throw is Daniels. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a first down here. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's got this down to the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Mixon with a first down carry. Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. 2nd and 9. Stroud out of the gun here. That's complete to Dell. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Stroud looking to throw. Flushed out right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Dorrance Armstrong. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Stroud. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. They run for it with Mixon, and he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Mixon unable to find the goal line on 4th down. And the Commander defense able to hold. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Daniels. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
And Brandon, how many times have we talked with these rookies out there, and then we finally hear from them that the game slowed down and they're able to handle things? Not so far for this rookie, because right now, back-to-back drives, they picked him off. Not college football anymore. He's got to find a way to handle what these defenses throw at him.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Mixing up the middle. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. The drive will start with an option going left. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Throwing now is Daniels. On the screen, this is Eckler. Gets past one man, and he'll be out right at the 35. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This now a 3rd and 4. Daniels looking to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That tackle behind the line made by Will Anderson.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. To the air goes Daniels. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. That is caught by Dell. Now inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Take Dell. 87 yards. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Washington offense back out there. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Here's Daniels. Caught out left side by Robinson. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Ertz has it left side. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Play action. Now it's Daniels. That is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 37 yards. And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And now out comes Houston. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Throwing now is Stroud.
Dumps it off to Mixon. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Now Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Stroud to throw it.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one.
And Stroud now to throw.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Stroud will look to throw once more.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Play action. Stroud now.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Nico Collins.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Texans will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays.
And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports.
Unable to corral him, he fights through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Daniels. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Daniels.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 38. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
And McLaurin, the motion man right. Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice consistent gain.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
From the gun on 3rd down, Daniels.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
This will be caught by Brown. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Daniels from the gun on third down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's 2nd and 3. Stroud.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Stroud sets up the play action.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
That's complete. It's Collins.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30.
Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball. That cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting them the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Off the play fake, Daniels. And that one almost intercepted. But it's incomplete. He had space in front of him if he had held on, but instead it's third down.
And that's another throw that could have been intercepted. Part of this, you credit the defense. They've been really stingy. But he's also made some really questionable throws, and that's another one right there.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Stroud looking to throw. Got his man, Dell.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. That's complete to Dell.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Stroud off the play fake.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Stroud. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. And he is going to have a Texans first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it, as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps, for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Nico Collins
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this a 3. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The Washington offense set to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
This to the sideline and over everybody. Incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me. Now a 2nd and 10. To the air goes Daniels. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Throwing now is Daniels. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Daniels going to throw for it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts.
That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Daniels. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a...
Touchdown, Washington.
Jamison Crowder. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
The Texans offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
So this one in the win column for the Texans, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their second-year quarterback.
Yeah, he was in complete control of this offense. He had 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And to be honest, he really made it look easy out there.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Landover.